Lily was here because of her fear. And thoughts and deeds a wise man heeds, it's FunderCast 952. Hey there, Tony here. Hope you're doing all right where you are, and I hope you're ready for a story because that's what I started out with at the beginning here, talking about Lily was here. And that's what she wrote with her finger in the sugar-like sand of the West Florida beach where she was. And she sat there doodling for a couple of hours. She was alone with just her trepidation. Yeah, that was the word. She remembered when she first heard that word back in high school. That's me all right, she thought. Miss Trepidation. Some might call it butterflies. Others have described it as jitteriness, a blue funk, or even the heebie-jeebies. And Lily had even heard her feelings described as the willies and plain old cold feet, but she figured Miss Trepidation sounded almost dignified. She even said it out loud with a British accent. Miss Trepidation. Jolly good. But let's step back a little, so we could see why Lily was here on this beach. She had always loved to paint, and she often said the feel of a brush against canvas was her sanctuary, as she put it. But in the past couple of years, some self-doubt had sneaked in behind her back. Truth be known, as it rarely is, a harsh review from an art critic had shattered her confidence. After that, she only painted in isolation. And none of her wonderful paintings saw the light of day, so to speak. But about a week before this solo trip to the beach, an old friend who loved Lily's art called to invite her to feature her paintings in a local gallery showcase. And Lily felt her face flush from just the thought of it. She asked for a couple of days to think it over, and her friend said the show was in 2 weeks, so she'd check back in 3 days if she hadn't gotten a call by then. So Lily was here on this beach to think of the best way to bow out. That's basically what it came down to. But somewhere in the halls of her memories, she heard her high school art teacher's voice. Ms. Robertson often said, art is not about perfection, it's about expression. And she also said, the only critic who matters is you. And those words hit Lily like a splash of ice cold water. Okay, cue Bonnie Tyler singing, I Need a Hero. I need a hero. Anyway, Lily stood up and dusted off the sand and trotted back to her car. And on the way home, she called her friend to say she'd be ready for the showcase no matter what. And her friend was thrilled. Then Lily gave herself a bold goal, which is a good thing to do. She decided to complete 10 brand new paintings for the showcase. Go big or stay home, right? Her first work was a frustrating mess, but she refused to let it stop her because when she got those brush strokes on the canvas, it took her right back to her sanctuary. And she poured her soul onto all those canvases. And with a couple of works completed, she figured out her theme, and that increased her passion to meet her goal. Okay, longer story, somewhat shorter. Lily did complete the 10 paintings, but on the way to the gallery, Mr. Anxiety jumped in the car with her, and he sneeringly asked, what if no one likes your paintings? Fortunately, Ms. Robertson's voice chimed in too. Paint for you first, the rest will take care of itself. So Lily made it to the gallery early, and her friend helped her set up her 10 newly finished paintings, and she raved about each one as they removed them. They're beautiful, Lily. This will be awesome. Sure enough, as visitors mingled around the gallery, Lily heard a lot of whispered praises for her paintings, and for the first time in a long time, she felt totally connected to her childhood dream of being an artist. Yep, there's nothing like the power of perseverance. Lily learned that's how you build courage and strength to face life and brush off doubt and fear. And as the song that bears her DNA says, outside the lines, the grass is greener, but that will not change my demeanor, because my life runs like a river. I'll take what all my days deliver. I know the morning sun will shine, so I'll draw another line. I'll keep a box of all my most important things inside my heart where they can be a constant song of joy to me. I love the sound of optimism when it sings. I can do what I need to. I know it's so I can do. I can do what I need to. I know it's much better to think I can do than I don't know if I can do it. It's got to be better to think I can do, right? Speaking of thinking, you know that if you even think evil thoughts, you have sinned? Uh-oh, how's that for a cheerful segue? Yeah, I had one reason why that came up in me to say that, because of the kinds of things that transpired recently. As millions of Americans enjoyed beer and football, their thoughts and deeds were, I guess you could say, mostly benign. But the thoughts and deeds of many others were malevolent. Would you believe there were even some people with murder in their hearts? I know, it's unthinkable. No, wait, it's totally thinkable. Because people have been thinking it almost as long as there have been people. But these days, you and I live in a deluded system and a deluded society where cheating, stealing, and murdering are just slap on the wrist incidents. So it's no wonder the thoughts and deeds of so many turn to whatever devious plans their selfish minds and wicked hearts can devise. It's no wonder. Yeah, if you think the owner of a store has too much and you have too little, then you should just be able to go in there, grab $1,000 worth of his products and walk out. No questions asked, because no harm, no foul, so foul. And if you disagree with the political candidate's views, kill him. Because your view is superior. Your view is supreme. Your view is the view, right? Of course, it's not surprising, well, to anyone who's been paying attention for decades, that our world has gotten to this point. Because for decades, governments, through schools and politics, they've taught kids it's okay to do whatever you think is right. If it's right for you, then it's right. And that even includes destroying anyone who inconveniences you. Regardless of the age or stage of life, just get rid of them. As I read some articles and blurbs about those assassination attempts against Donald Trump, I thought about a news story I read in the Atlanta Journal way back in 1981, 82, in that range. It was so sad. It was about a young boy who had been missing for days, and finally someone found his beaten body next to the Chattahoochee River. Now, imagine the immeasurable anguish a mom or dad would have to deal with in that situation. It's hard to even imagine. You don't want to imagine it, right? But on the flip side, millions of moms and dads are responsible for a crime even worse. They destroyed their own unborn children. And only because those children were inconvenient. Every person on earth, and that includes you, every person on earth, you're a person, that includes you, everyone is guilty enough to receive the death penalty. And every person on earth will receive it, even if no government carries it out. But never fear, you know, or you should know by now, that I'm a silver lining kind of guy. And the silver lining is that your death sentence can be temporary. Yeah, in fact, you might even be fortunate enough to experience it in the twinkling of an eye, and that's quick. But there's only one way to make sure. If you don't know what that is, I suggest you find out. If you do know what that is, share with somebody today. Because this world is hell-bent for destruction. And that's why we've had generations of this killing spree.
Way down along the river, beneath the willow tree, an awful sight in the damp twilight, they found the boy named Lee. His mother can't believe it, his father can't be found. There's his battered face and his dying place on that muddy Georgia ground. Been 40 years in this killing spree. It'll lead to ruin, the undoing of you and me. If it weren't for Jesus' grace and mercy, we'd all be found guilty in this killing spree. Oh, in this killing spree, it's killing you and me. Inside a broken promise, there lives a shattered dream. A young girl stands with cradled hands, her tears become a stream. With no one there beside her, she walks in through the door. She cannot smile or reconcile why her heart can feel no more. Oh, been 40 years in this killing spree. It'll lead to ruin, the undoing of you and me. If it weren't for Jesus' grace and mercy, we'd all be found guilty in this killing spree. Oh, in this killing spree, it's killing you and me. Where we gonna go? What we gonna do? Who can we depend on? Can you tell me who? Random thoughts and deeds, random source of life. Random is the bride we take, who becomes a cheating wife. Been 40 years in this killing spree. It'll lead to ruin, the undoing of you and me. If it weren't for Jesus' grace and mercy, we'd all be found guilty in this killing spree. Oh, in this killing spree, it's killing you and me. Been 40 years in this killing spree. It'll lead to ruin, the undoing of you and me. And if it weren't for Jesus' grace and mercy, we'd all be found guilty in this killing spree. Oh, in this killing spree, it's killing you and me.
Okay, that does it for this episode of the FunderCast. You can support this show by simply going over to TonyFunderburk.com and inserting your email. It's real easy, real fast, and when you do, you'll be signed up for the Funder Flash Journal, and you'll enjoy my daily flashes of light from the power of God's love.